thinking Vision 2030, UAE's 2031. Everyone's looking upon this region no longer as a destination to visit, but what does the future hold for our industry? We have statistics of 150 million tourists by 2030, 40 million a year hotel guests in this region, and more. I'm going to allow my panelists to introduce themselves because I could not do them justice who they are to support me here today, and they are really the ones driving this today. Kathleen, may I start with you?
Yeah, definitely. Great to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I'm working for Marriott International since 25 years. Just next week I will be 25 years. I'm the general manager of Marriott Al Forsan, Abu Dhabi, since 2 years in UAE. My other 23 years only in Eastern Europe.
Ila.
Very good evening to everyone here. My name is Ilavarsi Raja Bhatia. I have been a hotelier for the last 18 years. I think probably the youngest in this batch here, and 12 years with the esteemed Oberoi Group of Hotels and Resorts in India. And since the last 7 years, I have called Middle East my home, where I've worked with the Barcelo Group of Hotels, and currently I work with Signature Group of Hotel as in the capacity of a cluster hotel manager. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Nice to be here with you all and surrounded by such great professionals. I think I'm the rookie here, as I'm pretty new to this industry actually. I recently, 1 year ago, joined Kempinski and joined Dubai after several years in another world, which is cruising. Close, familiar to hospitality, but in a completely different way. Prior then, I worked in consulting, always in the dark side that no one talked about today yet, which is finance and operation. So the bad gatekeeper of all the beautiful things that we have been discussed so far. Before heading to Dubai, I was in the Principality of Monaco, where I lived in the past almost 10 years, and I'm originally from Italy. So along my career, I've guided companies through transformation, merger and acquisition, stock exchange quotation, and transferring, foundation, etc. So let's say in rough waters, and I recently joined again Kempinski and Dubai for guiding the group towards the new page, the new leadership that we have, and the new amazing projects that we have. So glad to contribute to this beautiful panel and to have you all here.
Kasim.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Kasim Sharif. For the last 6.5 years, I've been with Wyndham Hotels as their Regional Director of Finance for EMEA. Before that, I worked for companies like Radisson, for Accor as well. So yeah, mainly in finance for that many years. But I always say that I'm an operational guy in finance because I'm a trained chef as well. Yeah, now I'm in finance and glad to be in finance and looking forward to continue in finance.
Kasim, I'm going to start with you because obviously from your accent, as you and I have discussed, you've worked in Europe, you've worked in the UK, over here now for a number of years. You've seen different changes. But with your operational hat on, forget about finance, we'll hit Antonio for some figures in a minute. The vision, what you see and what's happening, what's going to happen, what's the expectation, not only from the guests, but from the teams on the grounds. Because we're talking about wonderful technology here, wonderful visions. Rate parities is one thing, but think about what are the teams, what are we expecting from our teams to deliver these beautiful visions of 2030, 2031? What are you seeing with your own experience?
I think it's a very interesting question, and if you had asked me that question before COVID, I think my answer would have been very, very different. And it's a quite strange thing. I think COVID has really changed the way we see our industry, and it has changed the expectations of our guests as well, dramatically. I think it's to do with people working from home. They had a good 1 year to look at their lifestyle, take stock of where they are, and so now, instead of giving example of hospitality industry, I will give you example of airlines. I was just reading recently the United Airlines, and the CEO of United Airlines said that the age of cheap travel is gone. Now, you can take that with a pinch of salt because he's the CEO of United. If it was a Ryanair CEO, then I think it would have been bigger news. But I think I see similar trends in our industry as well, where people are expecting a lot more in terms of their travel, in terms of what they expect when they get into hotels, for a reasonable price. But from the ADRs we have seen and the increase in ADRs, you can actually see that people are actually ready to pay for better service as well and better experiences, so to speak. It doesn't mean that you can discount the success of Ryanair's and your Fly Dubai's. They are successful in their own field as well, which is more, I think, gearing up from all the business travel side of things, and that's an interesting part as well. But yeah, I think sitting now, looking at 2030, from what we have seen in last 3-4 years, it's very difficult to guess. But if the trends continue, I think we will see a lot more high-end and luxury market growing. Which is good news for somebody like Kempinski. But yeah, I think the mid-market is doing quite well as well, which is our strength. But I think we can see a lot of pressure coming in now. We have to up our game to provide the services. Being in the mid-market, we still have to provide a service of upper class to stay in the market. So that's the main trend I see.
Perfect. Before we get to that number cruncher, because I really want to hit Antonio for some figures during this conversation. Kathleen, general manager, you work for, obviously, Marriott. Who doesn't know Marriott, let's be honest, in our industry? But the expectation from your guests, what are they expecting? We're talking AI, automation, and I'm sorry to any tech provider, and I come from a tech provider semi-background. AI is an employee. We need to educate AI. That takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of effort for the staff to learn, I'm sure. But what are you and your team, let's be honest, in your own environments at the moment, how are you preparing for this new vision, and really where are you driving that education element for your staff members?
I think in our brands, in Marriott, we have 35 brands so far. Expectations are much higher, especially after COVID. Mind and needs of customers change totally. They are looking for luxury, and they are looking for luxury not only in luxury properties, in premium and select as well. So AI, I don't think it will work very well because they really like the human touch, to talk with them, to engage with them. And I think me as a general manager and all our general managers from Marriott Properties, we do have a different job. We need to connect with customers. We need to find out what they want, what are their expectations, what we can do more for them. And this is how I'm educating and training my own employees in order to know what they have to be ready to offer. Because, of course, my employees, they have their own needs. Sometimes they are afraid to get in discussion with a customer who's upset, but they have to be empowered. And I think this makes a difference. Whenever you empower somebody, change the game. New technology, definitely we need to invest to have everything new, to have easier connection between departments, between guests and our employees, and the other way around. But AI, I don't see it soon coming. Yes, we can see AI to have a special robot to clean the marbles, to clean the carpets, to avoid the guests, not to disturb them, but I don't see in regards to customer needs and direct discussion with them.
Perfect. The word investment, Antonio, it's your turn. You know, well, I'm putting the purchase order in now, making the requisition.
Funny enough, I've always been the finance person in the operation, so kind of the mirror of what you said before. Look, I heard in a panel that we held before, there was, and in all the discussions that we had today, rightly, a lot of point of view vision about what the guest is demanding and requesting, and how the hotel, with the technology, with the service, with this level, with the experience, with the destination, can provide to the new guest, to the new generation, and also depending on the standing on the hotel. In luxury, echoing what has been said before, of course, we are seeing an expansion. Nonetheless, we are seeing also raising competition. What our focus now is, and I'm talking particularly about what I am dealing with, is how the hotel actually, what are the demands that the hotel has towards, not the guest, but towards itself. Because what we are actually striving to do, and what we are really eager to do, is to, yes, supply these requests and this satisfaction to the guest, but being efficient on ourselves, because we cannot, unfortunately, compromise on the famous bottom line that was mentioned this morning. And so, yes, when the guest has a need, which is indeed the priority for any of us, the hotel has a need too, and has a need to be financially stable, and these requirements should be financially sustainable. Whether this is a technology development, an engineering development, so back of the curtains, everything which is sustainability, energy saving, but even optimization in operation of F&B. So the great challenge that we are facing, especially in luxury, as we want every service to be bespoke, to be tailor-made, to be so dedicated to the guest, is how we can still provide it, how can we still be unique, how can we still be top of the quality, but in a more efficient, clever, and optimized way to enhance the revenue on a hand or to contain costs on the other, which again, pardon, let me be explicit here, doesn't mean cut cost. Cut cost is the easiest part, and you do it when you have a red flag. But before then, optimizing operation is actually what we're really focusing in, with a number of activities across our properties, which are very vertical in operation, but with an eye on the financial sustainability, which is sometimes a roadblock, but sometimes even an enabler.
No. Ila, regional demands on the market trends. We've seen, obviously, guest expectation changing. We're talking about your own experience with Oberoi in India, and now you're here in Dubai. You look at the European travelers coming in. How is that affecting your planning for the future, for your operations to be ready for the future, as well as your teams?
So I think I'm going to link this question back to AI that we have been discussing
Please.
here. Yes. So with the integration of AI in our daily operations, it is, I believe, that it will free up our team to develop themselves emotionally, because AI can actually take care of all the transactional tasks, and the teams can then just go and create connections and bonds with our guests, right? So I would capitalize on that, and we currently do that as well. Just to like give you a couple of examples here. Check-ins will be automated, right? So then while the guest was being asked a passport to be scanned or an Emirates ID to be scanned, now that same time could be utilized to literally engage, give the eye contact to them and ask what is the purpose of the stay, right? And then we will all figure out like, okay, the guest is here because their daughter found a job in Emirates Airlines. This is true story, right? And, the guest chose Signature because we were just right across the road of the accommodation of Emirates Airlines. So this is their first job, their daughter's first job. So then this gives the team member the empowerment to actually create a wonderful memory for them. So this is what the future will look like. And when I think about Dubai, it is such an amazing ground, because we are almost like 75–80% of nationalities of the world here. So we all bring our own strong suits to the game, right? Like probably like Asian hospitality, European hospitality. We all bring in the different flavors and color and taste to the dish that we make. So with AI taking care of all the transactional deeds, I think we are all ready to transform regionally, geographically, as you would like to say, for all our guests. Dubai is ready. And I feel that Dubai is more like a trendsetter more than a follower. And it's like the world looks up to Middle East, and especially to Dubai, that, okay, what is Dubai up to? So that then we can start just following what they create, So we are kind of the creators here, to answer.
I definitely think innovation is here. Kasim, from your own experience, you mentioned obviously the brands you worked with, how important it is to grow the cross-departmental growth for the future, collaborating between departments to really deliver future expectations, to be ready for the future, and that kind of visibility within the teams to grow and be multitasked in a positive manner to deliver those future visions. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think I will second some of the views which have been said about AI, that in our industry we will never be able to take away the personal touch. But I think we just need to also remember that we are already using a lot of functions which can be counted as intelligent automation. I think it's just the next stage of it which we are a bit nervous about, because it's just much faster and it can do a lot more data than we can even comprehend. So I don't see there is any clash as such. I mean, for example, we are already in Wyndham, we have launched our self-check-in, which is kind of you can call it AI, and the process of it, start from the booking to all the way to guests checking out, is quite seamless. So now that requires a completely new set of skills for the departments, because most probably somebody who's staying for one night and he or she is arriving quite late is not going to want to go to reception. Yeah. He's going to check in from the airport, go straight to his room if he knows where he's going, and yeah, you probably won't see them by the checkout. So it's the matter of then front office to, and it goes back to the discussion we were having before about loyalty. It's about how to catch them after they have checked out, or while they are in-house, to know that, okay, the guest staying in room 101, and from our records, they like to have pizza at nighttime or whatever, and try to gauge it and take it from there. And to surprise them if it's their birthday or something is coming up. So I think, yes, there are key things which we need to look out for, and those departments will have to rework and retrain themselves to cope with that. But I think the basic personal touch will always be the same, because we are in the business of experience. And I think experiences so far, it has to include human beings, luckily for us, I guess.
Definitely. Antonio, no, please.
No, I mean, that's basically it from my perspective, is that it's the retraining of the staff and how to coordinate between them. So front office is just not front office anymore. There are many hotels I actually go to where reception is not behind behind a desk. They walk around the lobby, there is no desk, because they know guests can check in, there are screens, they help them out, they check in and they go up. So already I can see a lot of changes coming in.
Evolution taking place already.
And they are not called receptionists anymore. They are guest service or whatever you want to call them. So the roles are going to change. They will still be based on personal touches, and that will need retraining.
And that means investment again, but at the same time we have the areas of sustainability, the areas of other industries also influencing hospitality more and more. Antonio, with your own experience, the newbie within hospitality, but obviously in hospitality in different areas. You mentioned the time you spent in Monaco, which is obviously has driven some of our industry, especially on the luxury environment. How do you see that affecting it? How can industry like ours in hospitality, not just here in Dubai and GCC, but how can we see us as an industry adopting ideas and future trends from other industries to take hospitality forward?
So to be honest, I think, and we are seeing and developing it also in our brand, we shouldn't be afraid of developing any technology, even whether this is a bit distancing us from the guest. I understood from many of the speech today that the importance that the human touch still has for many of the hoteliers, and indeed for Kempinski and the crafted experience that we give to the guests, this is fundamental. though we are approaching to a generation, especially of business travelers, which are younger and younger and not necessarily are perceiving luxury being human touch, but maybe comfort comes first, destination comes first, easiness of access comes first. And in this technology would definitely help. Chaining to the, for example, self-check-in and the investments. Sad but true, every time we make this kind of decision or analysis, the back of the curtains is also understanding if this technology is actually making me save money. And saving money would mean maybe saving in resources which are doing the check-in, but doesn't mean I don't need the resources anymore. But maybe what they do would be something different, which is hopefully not assisting in the self-check-in, otherwise why would I help self-check-in? But maybe guide the guest through an experience which is more insightful and dedicated to the guest itself. So, of course, we are not, even in luxury world, we're not against the development of any technology. Actually, in F&B, you see it already, especially not in F&B within hotel, in F&B in general. Even the most expensive restaurants and the most luxurious one are now removing a bit of the old-fashioned luxury touch, and they are moving through something which is a bit more dynamic, so to say, cool. Sorry the low word, but I think everyone knows what I'm referring to and what kind of restaurants here in Dubai we are referring to. So we are approaching to these money spenders, so to this new generation of money spenders, and they are not afraid of using technology. From a hotel perspective, in a cold and gray area which finances, we always evaluate every investment that we have mentioned with a respect of, okay, we are not affecting the guest experience. This, we said it already. Our guests will be happy, yes. And also, how much money will I save and how much faster will I serve my client? Or how much money can I make on the contrary? And this goes also into sustainability, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the two leverage of our financial statement are always balancing. And again, luxury is not against that. It's just the touch that you want to give. Just to add something quick, sometimes when we develop these things in the hotel, we feel the resistance of the hotels. And I'm talking from a corporate perspective, because they are attached or particularly loyal to certain type of guest. Old-fashioned guests used to have something in the room. The key word we are using here now is please don't make an exception to be the rule. If you have a special guest that wants his room at 14 degrees or a fruit basket which is big as this room in his room, please keep on serving him. That doesn't mean it should be the rule for all the other 400 keys that you have. We can change the operations and then these guests will eventually follow or not, and we can still be tailor-made. But we have to give a consistency at a corporate level which goes into another direction.
As we see all these changes, obviously, Cassandra, you, as a group, 35 brands, you've got just acquired a very futuristic brand, let's be honest, and then you've got the very traditional brands within. Staff training must be something that Marriott will pull their hair out, right, left, and center to show you match all your needs. How are you seeing that personal development internally to be ready, future ready, across your brands?
So this is what Marriott is doing. It's investing in our training. So we have the brand standards for each brand separately, and we have trainings which are for all of us related to the guest experience. That's why now front desk employees are not called like this. They are guest experience experts. So this is the investment, what we are working on. Plus, in addition, Marriott is willing to move us from brand to brand. So we are doing Sheraton, Westin, we can do Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis. So, for example, some of the general managers are enrolled to other trainings. Now I'm enrolled in luxury university. I never worked in a luxury hotel. But this is my tendency. I want to move forward to work in a luxury property. So always they do invest in people because they want to keep them, not to go to other brands, to enjoy working, to get connected with customers. And sometimes it's happening, for me, for example, it's my sixth property where I'm working. I'm bringing here in UAE guests from other properties where I worked because I'm still connected with them on WhatsApp. When are you coming to Abu Dhabi? It's amazing. Please join. So you see, you create like another family with the customers, not only with your own employees. That's why Marriott invests in training, because they want to grow. They are growing so much in properties. We have 9,700 properties worldwide, and in 1 year we will have more than 10,000, so they need people to work for them. And that's why it's important to know, not only one brand, you work only in Marriott. No, you have to move around. You need to move to other countries to learn the culture, to learn the way of working in the other properties. So this is another training, is training on the job, 100%. Which helps us to grow.
So with all this planning for the future, I'm going to steal something from Jamie's last panel, emotional intelligence. How are we preparing our teams with the significance of emotional intelligence for the future, which has been something that's a bit like mental health out there has been ignored to a certain extent, but now it's a hot topic. How are we getting our teams ready, Ila? What are we doing?
We all know training as probably in a way that we prepare ourselves to train our teams, but I do see that there is a shift in how do I say, like, the mindset that the team also kind of is able to apply those trainings back to us. So to come back to your question of emotional intelligence, we train our team to say that, okay, you have to think of ways to personalize your service, right? And true example from Signature. Now Marriott is with 9,700 hotels, and Signature is a homegrown company in Dubai. We have 3 hotels, and we do not have any of those values which will probably work for a Marriott. So we created our own values, right? So the only way I could explain this better is via examples. So we have team members who connect with the guests, and they know that there are certain products that the guests prefer of their own, which is their private choice. And when that product is about to get over, they would replace it with something of their own. Like, we would buy it from outside, a small gesture, and a cute note stating that, we saw that you use only this toothpaste and you do not use the one that Signature provides. So here it is, before it runs out, here it is another one for you. So you see, we train them that please think about ways and means to create experiences, and then they come back with application of it. And this is just a small thing that I spoke about housekeeping. Front office does it. Engineering went ahead and they created, okay, when housekeeping in place a toothpaste, let me create a toothbrush holder with the initials for the guest. You see, so now there is like a healthy competition going on, and this is the beauty of working with homegrown companies, because you can create rules that works for you, and that fits your chain of guests, right? Because here we do not have a loyalty program, but the guest comes back for Margaret, who is on the 7th floor. So the guest comes back for Karan, who is on the 11th floor, and the guest would ask, okay, which day is she or he taking an off? Because he is, even though not connected to any loyalty program, he's connected to the team.
That's a loyalty on its own,
that's
right? And
I
think that's one of the things, loyalty doesn't need to be a gold or platinum in my opinion, but that's a conversation, I guess. Jamie, you and I have a few panels to do extra at some point, additional, from parity rates and loyalty programs. I want to finish up. Everyone's had a long day and being thankful for everyone's time. Last prediction, the lottery numbers of the future trends in our industry. Kasim, we'll start with you. One prediction from you, something you want to see in the future that's going to happen.
I think if you really want me to go out there and out of the box,
go for it.
I think there will be
the last panel of the day. Go for it.
I think there will be a hotel in space very, very soon. That's the out there kind of concept, but I think staying on this planet, I think, the loyalty of the guests, I think that's going to be a key driver of the business for a lot of hotel groups. I already see a lot of hotels now trying to rely less and less on, OTAs and trying to gain as many customers as possible. I mean, look at this way. If you look at any of the hotel data coming on quarterly basis, there are 2 things they always put in there. How many rooms they have added to the pipeline and how many customers they've added to the loyalty program. They don't look at EBITDA, which is quite sad for me, but they don't look at any other numbers. Those are the 2 key drivers to value of any hotel group. So I think loyalty is going to be a big driver of the industry moving forward.
Antonio, you've just arrived. The future for you.
So tomorrow. No, so I also moved from shore base to the sea, and I think, and I've seen many, especially in the luxury segment, hotel companies launching and putting their foot in the cruising industry because, of course, of the loyalty and of the whole business that can communicate with your client base. Four Seasons has done that, Aman has done that, Ritz-Carlton, which I worked for, Yacht Collection has done that, and I do believe that many more will be in the pipeline with different type of ownership and partnerships. So this is one thing that I think within a certain dimension will expand. Of course, not too much because in the sea there are already players. Coming back to the shore side, I think, and this is what I'm seeing in the development we're doing, many hotels especially, and also in the luxury segment, will move through disruptive concept and external partnerships. So it won't be any more surprising seeing some, again, pop or disruptive young-oriented concept to be hosted by all the dinosaurs, like some of the structure that even Kempinski is owning. And some examples in the Kempinski world we're already seeing, hosting Nobu and Billionaire in our historical properties, and many more will come. So these two takeaways from where I see the business developing, and which will help maybe more the top line than the bottom line, but for sure will be a product development very strong to be seen.
Excellent. Hila, from your point of view, where's the future heading?
I feel that sustainability is definitely going to lead us in the path that all of us believe in. Employees will be choosing companies that are, that have sustainability as one of their top keys. Guests will choose hotels who have, as we heard before, companies and hotels who make sure that they're aware about their own carbon footprints. So this will be key driver for sure in terms of what the guest will look for in the future to choose the hotel. And it's both way, even the teams. So as hoteliers, I think we have to keep our internal guests and external guests both happy and engaged. So that is something that's definitely from the future. And AI will definitely be opening doors for us. But the smile behind the door that is actually going to welcome the guest is what is the cherry on the cake. So these two things, training the team to keep that smile on, to keep ourselves abreast with the technology, and making sure that we all take care of the planet together. Yes, these two things.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Catalina.
I think creativity. All our employees became more creative because we want to create a unique experience for customers to come back. So we have even internal competitions in UAE, worldwide, how to become more creative, how to do something special, a wonderful gesture for the customer, to impress them, not only for the loyal customers who are part of our loyalty program, Bonvoy, for all other customers who are coming first time to the hotel. We want to come to a level where when the guest stepped in the hotel, we know exactly what he needs, what kind of food, what kind of room he likes to have, what we can give him as a surprise. So all of this researching, what past stays of the customer, or if it's a new, to try to find something in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in order to dig in his history. Like this will impress them. I can give you an example. Once a guest, he really liked to have a good surprise for his birthday. We checked and we saw where he finished university in US. And what we did a nice cake for him and his wife, and we put the logo of university, and we checked from the parties which he posted what kind of food he enjoyed there. So exactly, we prepared certain type of burger, which he was posted, I enjoy in Texas this type of burger. When he entered in the room, he was in shock. He said, "From where did you find out?" "From your postings." So we just try to anticipate their needs, to make a surprise. This will bring more and more customers, and I could see happiness of our employees when they do something special. So you keep both sides very happy.
It's great to see. First of all, thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much to Red Media to putting the event together. But it's great to do a full circle. We're more or less finished with a point where Jamie started this morning with hyper-personalization in his panel. And it's great to see that the future is human. Yes, AI is an employee, educator. It's not going to do it for you. Nothing, no tech system will do, not even the ones I sold you. Apologies if I ever sold you tech in the past. But really, the appreciation, the human being in our industry. And of course, keep in mind that Antonio keeps his numbers tight to his chest, so budget's always a key to achieve all of this. And thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your drinks, and again, thank you for the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.